empty every bullet out of every gun. Because we did it. We made it back from Saudi. The world's in shambles. Who knows what's going on out there? But the professional wrestling world always continues. And what other way to get your weekly dose than by listening to the Shoot Brothers podcast, the wrestling podcast hosted by myself, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, Cameron, the King of Saudi, Osborne.
I don't know if I like that one. I'm pulling at my collar right now.
We won't keep
fanning myself for some air.
I don't know where it came from, but no, we're here. We've got lots of great professional wrestling, some crazy stuff going on. All the companies. I mean, Tony Khan's at it again, tweeting more big news is coming. So, I mean, shit never stops. Cesaro, we'll just mention that real quick. He's gone. He's free as a bird, like we've been waiting for years.
He's freer than Nelly Furtado circa early 2000s.
There you go. So yeah, here we are. Big week.
Yeah, it's always a big week in professional wrestling. That is exactly right. Of course, we're on the road to WrestleMania, baby. We're on the road. And of course, well, we're taking a bit of a detour and jumping on a quick plane to head overseas. Of course, Revolution is coming up in a few weeks now. March 5th, I believe. So I think that's next Saturday, not this one coming, but the next one. And all that fun news. So let's hop on a plane. Let's get ourselves over. Who knows how we're getting the devastating structure overseas. Good thing though. You know, because with all these truckers being blocked up, if you threw a big steel cage and ramp and lights and pyro into a truck, it might not even make it on time. So let's get in. Let's kick off this week's episode of Shoot Brothers by giving you this year's edition of the Elimination Chamber.
Review. That's right. Just one quick note before we jump into that.
Sure.
From SmackDown the night before, we actually had a title change. Sami Zayn successfully capturing another Intercontinental title from Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes, of course. So this was a pre-taped, so I'm sure a lot of people out there knew it was going to happen. I'm going to call this the Saudi bump. Because all these performers get a big pay cut, get a big paycheck for heading overseas and performing. However, Sami Zayn, he's literally not allowed to go. So reward him with an IC title reign, and sure, Shinsuke hasn't done much with it.
He's been hurt and hasn't.
And Rick Boogs has taken the spotlight, even like from his own little program right there. He's being upstaged by his musician.
Yeah, I mean, let them fool around in the tag division for a while. Sammy can have a good little run with this belt.
Maybe
he has in the past.
Yeah, I think good things are on the horizon for Eric Bugenhagen. Just even before despite Shinsuke Nakamura losing his championship, but congratulations to Sami Zayn. He deserves it.
It was cool. Good match. There was also, when Sammy hit the Michinoku driver, it looked extra devastating. Something about it.
Okay.
But that was SmackDown. Let's just continue. Let's jump back on that plane. Going to Saudi. Elimination Chamber. The first ever international elimination chamber. So that's something.
That is something.
Like we said, flying that structures. You can't just drive across the ocean. You got to fly that thing.
Yeah, or put it in a boat.
That too, yeah. But we had a pre-show. Did you check out the pre-show?
I caught the second half of the pre-show, which, like most Miz matches, just watch the second half. We have Rey Mysterio taking on The Miz. Dominic, of course, in Miz's corner. We get our normal Saudi thing: big stage, big Titantron, lots of pyro, and every single one of these shows, we get a more engaged fan base.
Yeah,
compared to that first one, where nobody gave a shit.
Especially like all the ones on the front row with their big fancy chairs. And,
Yeah, all the
just,
Saudi princes over there.
They had no idea what the fuck.
Didn't give a fuck.
Now it's real fans. It's kids. They're having a great time. So even if this match didn't really mean anything, they were still loving it, chanting "You suck" at the Miz. And yeah, we're going back and forth. I think Miz tries to use a chair, so Dominic grabs him, and they tug of war over it. And then Miz pretends he gets hit by it, so the ref ejects Dominic. Miz goes for a skull-crushing finale. Ray counters with a victory roll and ends up getting the victory itself. So, gets the win. Miz freaks out, attacks Ray, so Dominic runs back, and they just do a double 619, double frog splash, just to please the crowd even more.
And remember, folks, pick up your copy of WWE 2K22. Upcoming. Pre-order now.
Yeah, Mr. Rey Mysterio on your cover.
He's on the cover. A big cover athlete. Yeah. graphics look pretty good. But
yeah, we'll see,
but gameplay will decide whether or not the game is trash.
I mean, the last one that came out was notoriously so bad that they didn't even release one the year after. They're like, all right, we got to go back to the.
It was famously terrible.
Yeah. It was the I can't think of something. Let's just get to the main show. Roman Reigns defending that Universal title against Goldberg. And you and I, we're over Goldberg, but this crowd still loves him. They're chanting the Goldberg name, and thankfully they kept this match pretty short. Roman comes out hot. Goldberg catches him with a spear, but then Reigns gets up, hits a Superman punch, goes for a spear, but Goldberg catches him with a second spear, and he wants to hit the jackhammer, but then Reigns just latches onto him with the guillotine. So Goldberg's struggling. He's trying to escape, but eventually just fades, passes out, loses the match. So Roman Reigns retains.
Yeah, I think one of those exactly what the match needed to be thing. Like, fucking get it out, kick it off the show, get it out of the way. Done in probably 6 to 7 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't have enough time to become a disaster. They just kept it short. They both got to hit a couple moves, and at the day, we all knew Reigns was
I guess because this was the one that we were waiting on for like 2 years now, right? It was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it got
never
delayed,
happened.
so finally got it done.
And with this victory, Roman Reigns has defeated every former champion, every former Universal Champion.
Yeah, so I saw that's a pretty cool stat. He's beaten them all, but he didn't pin them all or something.
Yeah, because I don't think he didn't.
Like Bray Wyatt.
He never pinned the Fiend. He pinned Braun Strowman, but still, the records will say what the records will say.
Yeah. Either way, cool stat. Good little title defense. And rumor has it that this was Goldberg's last match on his contract, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
What happened to Gage? Where's Gage? Remember his son?
His son?
Who in 2017 was like a little chubby kid, and then he showed up on TV like 2 years ago, and he was like suddenly a man, almost as if
high school football,
almost as if it was a different kid.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Is there any old footage of Hook from like ECW or something?
Gage versus Hook, that could be something.
Gage versus Hook versus Dominic. I'm booking it. I'm booking the triple threat right now.
Let's go to our first Elimination Chamber match, the Women's Chamber here. And I just want to shout out how amazing these outfits were this year. Before we just saw like kind of plain one-piece outfits with giant baggy T-shirts, but this time they each had like their own personality.
Well, yeah, I think before it was Natalya and somebody.
Lacey, I think.
Lacey Evans, maybe, and they were kind of in that, just like black spandex, and then the classic Survivor Series T-shirt that you can buy at the concession stands.
Yeah, like a couple here, like Rhea Ripley looked like the Catwoman with an all-leather thing.
Yeah, she had a cool look, and also it's not to spend too much time commenting on a woman's appearance, but it is also cool to see like a new ring attire. Men, we never see new shit. John
Not
Cena.
that odd.
John Cena comes out in his jean shorts and his sweatbands, and that's it. Or Roman Reigns, kind of the new Roman Reigns now comes out with no shirt and his fucking utility pants. But yeah, it was just like having a new in-ring attire. It's just kind of like it's a whole new thing. It's great.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bianca Belair's, hers looked like something she could wear anytime. Just like
All of them, very
bedazzled.
much so, yeah.
Yeah. Nikki Ash's, hers was pretty much the exact
Hers
same.
was pretty much
just
the
with
exact
sleeves.
same, but still.
Cover those arms up.
Yeah, we got sleeves on it. It was kind of like the winter version.
Yeah. So anyways, they all come out to the ring. Alexa Bliss is the last one out, and she's still kind of halfway between her Funhouse character and the old Alexa. She's still got the little dress, but
yeah, she has
not
the little
the black.
dress and heavy eye makeup. What's it called? Eyeshadow? Is that what it's called?
But she's not full My Chemical Romance anymore.
Yeah, but she still looks like she's in the crowd.
Yeah, she's halfway in between. Lily wasn't there. We don't know.
Thank Christ.
She's not welcome in Saudi.
Probably not. It's probably some kind of imagery. The same kind of way that Aleister Black wasn't allowed because of his tattoos.
Yeah, it's like no religious idols or...
no false idols, I think, of any
false
kind.
Idols,
I'm pretty sure that's a commandment.
Yeah. Well, let's start this thing off. We got Nikki Ash, Liv Morgan. They're just fighting, slamming each other all around into the cage wall. Then the first pod opens up. We get Doudrop. So she just comes in, starts slamming them all around, and Rhea Ripley's out next. Goes right after Nikki. So Nikki tries to climb up the wall to escape. Rhea climbs up after her and then just slams her down, or slams her into the wall. She falls off the cage into the pile of women below. It's a nice little fall there, and Rhea follows up, hits the Riptide, eliminates Nikki. So just further, I mean, she's like 5-0 in this feud against Nikki Ash here.
Yeah, almost to the point where it's too much for them to have a blow-off now. Like, the blow-off has happened, and now they'll just forever have this semi-Sasha Bailey type thing where it's like you guys can just fight.
It's so one-sided, though. Exactly.
It's like if Sasha won every time, or I don't know.
The next pod opens. Alexa Bliss comes out, and she gets a huge reaction. Definitely the crowd favorite, I think, in this match here. And looking good, that time off. Her offense is crisp. Crowd's loving everything she does. Liv climbs up the ropes. Doudrop runs behind Liv and shoves her, but then she falls and gets her leg caught upside down there for a second. Could have been ugly. But.
Yeah, for a second. I think Doudrop came and made the save,
Doudrop just kind of shoved her but... Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you've seen. There's that There's that classic footage of I think Dolph Ziggler gets his knee caught between the ropes, and then Kane is like it's during a rumble, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that the ropes can spin and kind of get twined with each other, his knee does that, and Kane is like, if he was half a second later, Dolph's knee would have been fucking destroyed forever. Yeah, it was just kind of like that, whoop. Gotta be safe out there, kids. Gotta be safe out there.
That's the danger of the chamber.
Amen.
But, we continue. Liv gets up. She climbs the ropes, hits a big sunset flip onto Doudrop, gets the 3. Big elimination. That was kind of her big moment of the match. Then Bianca Belair, she's the last competitor released. She just comes in hot, goes on a roll, lifts up Liv above her head with one arm to get the big round of applause there. And yeah, match just getting real hot at this point. Crowd's chanting, "This is awesome." Bianca and Rhea trying to one-up each other with their feats of strength. Liv runs in, hits a double code breaker, but then Alexa hits her, climbs the ropes, hits the Twisted Bliss. So that eliminates Morgan. So we're down to final 3. Alexa, Ripley, and Belair. Bliss spikes Ripley with a big DDT. Then Bianca hits Rhea with the KOD, so she's gone. Just down to Bianca and Bliss. And this crowd made it clear they wanted Alexa to win here. So, but we go on. Bliss hits a nice code red, big near fall. Just go back and forth a bit more. Bliss goes for her big DDT, but Belair just springboards through it. Picks her up, hits the KOD, gets the win. So Bianca Belair going to WrestleMania main event once again. Well deserved.
Main event once again. Hard to say what the main event of that second night will be. I think they already told us that Charlotte Ronda is going to be a main event.
I Yeah, we'll see. They said that'll be on the first night. Did they say it'll be the main event?
Yeah, I did. I heard main event, but I guess maybe in previous years they have done like a double main event type of thing.
Yeah. Either way, we know Bianca Belair. She gets the win. She's going to WrestleMania. Can't spell WrestleMania without EST. And yeah, she was the right choice. I mean, the crowd wanted Alexa. They booed a little bit at Belair, but too bad for them.
Yeah, we can bring it back to the Americans who know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah, now, now I was going to say here on this one, and it was kind of the same for the men's Rumble. I found the interval times to be shorter between people coming out of their pods, which yeah.
I mean, at the end of the night, these ended up being the two shortest chamber matches of all time.
Okay, yeah, that kind of because it definitely felt like that, and which maybe it kind of like the whole match, it didn't overstay its welcome because it was kind of like bang bang bang, new competitor, bang bang bang, new competitor, and bang bang bang.
Yeah. No, I liked it. It was only 15 minutes 45 seconds, but bang bang bang, a lot of fun. And at the end of the day, the right person won. And yeah, it was nice to see Alexa Bliss have a good comeback, the crowd on her side.
And Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, that's our new Sasha Bailey, right?
Yeah.
That's Sasha Bailey 2.0.
Yeah, that's a great feud. They came up together kind of at the same time in NXT.
These two are going to go at it forever.
And they're both fucking jacked,
they're strong, equal competitors. They have great chemistry. They're going to go at it forever until Liv Morgan gets her Becky Lynch moment, where she's the lovable loser who eventually turns into a megastar. Yeah, hell yeah to the future, right?
And who's our Bailey?
No, I think
Nikki Ash.
No, I think Ripley Belair is Sasha Bailey.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So who's Charlotte? No, Charlotte's Charlotte.
Well, okay. Speaking of Charlotte, let's just move right along here because we've got Charlotte Flair teaming up with Sonya Deville to take on Naomi and Ronda Rousey. And once again, I love the outfits in this match. Ronda Rousey wearing her blue gi, the very same one she wore while winning an Olympic bronze medal. So cool.
The judo background, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing worth noting, I'm pretty sure in Saudi Arabia, gays and lesbians are punishable by very strict things. And Sonya
yeah,
Deville
I'm sure you'll get stoned.
Yeah, but Sonya Deville is openly lesbian and Dewdrop's bisexual, so it's nice to see both of them competing on the card.
And I see both of them getting paid too, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna pay them, hey, if I'm going to a place where they'll probably stone me, you're gonna have to pay me a little bit more.
Yeah, but anyways, they're here. But the gimmick is, Sonya Deville, she's got that sling in her arm because of Ronda Rousey. So the stip is Ronda has to have one arm tied behind her back. So the referee gets that all set up, and right away the match starts. Sonya takes off her sling to reveal that she's healed. Mocks Ronda, but Rousey does not give a fuck. She can hold her own just fine. And even with one arm, she looked pretty good here, just using those judo throws and kicks, just tossing bitches all around. But the heels, they still got 4 arms against 1, so team up, beating her down. But this crowd was rooting for her, just chanting, "Let's go, Rousey." So, rooting for the baby faces. Rousey gets back in, eventually she hits the Piper's Pit on Sonya, locks in the armbar. Sonya quickly taps out.
Quickly taps, like you said. Yeah, it was fun. Another one with the fun outfits here. It was a fun little swerve, Sonya Deville, but maybe television quality. Unspectacular, but just I think biggest takeaway here. Hey, we saw great women's match. We're getting women's matches here in Saudi Arabia, which I think.
Yeah, we still got one more.
Biggest takeaway, maybe now.
Yeah, and I mean the crowd was really positive towards Rousey. You could see how happy she was. She was smiling, high-fiving fans.
Yeah, she smiles too much. Can I say that? Can I say she smiles too much?
Well, apparently Vince McMahon told her that. He's like, "You need to smile more."
Really?
Apparently.
Because I remember when she showed up.
When she came at the Rumble, she didn't smile at all.
Well, no, I was thinking her very, very first appearance. Wasn't that also after a Rumble?
Yeah, this year, I mean, her return at the Rumble, she came out, she didn't smile once.
Yeah.
Apparently Vince was like, smile!
Okay, because I just remember that first appearance where, the Reputation song comes, everyone's like, oh shit, and then Ronda Rousey comes up the Doubletron, everyone freaks out, and then she walks out, and hey, I can only imagine what it's like to have tens of thousands of people, like, cheering at you. It's probably a great feeling.
Yeah.
Hold it back.
Well, apparently she takes it really hard. Like, when she gets booed, she takes it
Good!
personal. I don't know.
Oh my god, what? So what, Ronda's never going to turn heel?
She's
That
a little
sucks.
soft.
Yeah.
No, she already was heel.
She was heel her whole first
Fuck
run.
the fans.
No,
Yeah. Fuck the fans. But
Oh,
no,
yeah, she was calling them, like, marks and shit like that. I don't forget Ronda.
That's real?
Boo!
No.
Boo, Ronda.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to the next match. Drew McIntyre taking on Madcap Moss. Falls count anywhere. And going in, I had zero hopes for this match. But
Coming
God
out?
damn it, I'll tell you. I will never forget it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a second because, the match starts. Immediately, Corbin jumps in. 2-on-1 attack because it's no DQ. They can do whatever they want. So they fight their way up the ramp. Drew throws Madcap into the LED boards, damaging them. Then they fight their way back down, back into the ring. Drew starts tossing Madcap all around. And then he picks Moss up for the reverse Alabama slam, a move we've seen him do dozens of times. But for whatever reason, on this time, Madcap, he tried to rotate or tuck his head in. I don't know what he did, but this guy just fucking legitimately spikes his head so hard onto the ring, like the worst possible landing you can have. I think this might be the worst landing I've ever seen in wrestling.
Wow.
Like, the slow motion replay, it was just like you couldn't have landed more straight on your head. There wasn't
He couldn't have. Yeah, this is yeah. Who knows what the hell? Who knows what the hell happened? Right? Like, who knows what's going through somebody's head in a moment like that? Right?
Yeah. Obviously, it was just super scary, terrible landing. They cut to Corbin. You can just see him like he falls to his knees and covers his mouth, just like oh, because he knows he might just saw his friend die. Like literally.
Yeah.
That could have been not just career-ending, life-ending. That was such a crazy bump. The ref checks on him, but I thought they went too quick. They just kind of continued. They showed the replay right away before we know if the man's even gonna walk again. I don't know. Somehow though, fucking Moss, he's moving around and Corbin yanks him out of the ring, starts chasing Drew around, I guess to buy some time. But Madcap, he's committed. Just jumps right into the match, right back into it. Starts taking more bumps. Gets suplexed on the floor. Gets thrown over the announce table. And then again, they just show another slow-mo replay of Moss's landing.
And they go back
you
to
can literally,
it. Yeah.
You can see the spine compress into his head as he lands.
We should say, though, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. He finished. Of course, finished the match. He walked out under his own power.
Yeah. No, I just have to mention, I'm impressed by the man, the toughness of this man to continue. And eventually Drew goes to the top rope, hits a superplex. Moss kicks out of that, and we get a "this is awesome" chance. So, like I said, did not expect this all going in, but eventually Drew's going to hit the Claymore. Corbin comes in, so Drew grabs the sword, swings it at him, so he runs away. Then he holds the sword in one hand, hits the Claymore to get the win. But I got to give credit to Moss. What a crazy moment. Tough son of a bitch to continue the match. And, I would have just called an audible, pinned him, hit the Claymore right there. He didn't have to continue. But lucky guy, thankfully, like we said, everything's come out. He's cleared. And yeah, I don't know. For me, I gained a lot of respect for Madcap Moss. Not that I didn't respect him. I don't respect the character, but this was just a crazy moment.
That's good. Somebody made a fan out of you, almost. Almost.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen a lot of nasty falls, but that landing was just... Lance Archer a couple months ago, he was kind of like rolling through his moonsault when he bounced off his head. So he had that going for him. And he still was out for months.
He was still gone, yeah.
Yeah, so lucky day at the office for Mr. Madcap.
Yeah, amen.
But let's move along here. We've got our third women's match of the night. Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's title against Lita. And this Saudi crowd, they love their legends. Lita, she had tons of signs, just fan
Yeah,
sections
I
cheering for
wonder
her.
why that is. Because of, between the likes of Goldberg, of course, the fucking like Taker, Shawn Michaels, Trips, and even who was the like in that Greatest Royal Rumble when the guy was like, I want Yokozuna. And so they got somebody who looked like
some
how?
sumo wrestler.
Why? Like these, like I don't get it. Like I mean, not to say the times were great and times continue to be great, but why? I wonder.
I don't know. I guess it's just that prestige, the legends of the Hall
Or
of Fame.
what I started thinking was that like they're on a 20-year time delay. So right now, right now for them, Shawn Michaels is like floating down from the top of the rafters.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Either way, we've got the Women's Championship on the line here. Lita, you could tell how excited she was, just kind of nervously shaking, moving around before the match starts. And they got good time here, about 12 minutes, the longest non-chamber match on the show. And yeah, the crowd's just all rooting for Lita, and they have a nice little back and forth match. Exchanging momentum, submissions. Becky hits the manhandle slam, makes the pin, but Lita's able to get a foot on the rope. So Becky then climbs the top rope and goes for a move I've never seen her attempt before. She does a moonsault, but Lita avoids it. But hey, lets you know Becky can do a backflip.
Can she?
In case you didn't know. Oh, she did.
Okay.
Anyways, Lita avoids it, hits the twist of fate, then hits her own moonsault, makes the cover. Becky kicks out at 2. Crowd's going wild at this point, though, because Lita's got the champ on the ropes, picks her up, but then Becky just hits her with another manhandle slam out of nowhere. Gets the win, retains her title. But, yeah, I thought this was pretty good.
It was pretty good for Lita's first singles performance, and and much like Trish Stratus did before our very eyes back in 2019 there, Mike. Lita proved she could hang. She can hang.
Yeah, and looked good doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we were supposed to get the Usos defending the SmackDown titles against the Viking Raiders. But when the Vikings come out for their entrance, the Usos just beat the shit out of them, and we don't get the match. Which was okay with me because it wasn't really.
That wasn't moving the needle for me in the first place. So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine.
Apparently,
with this
was a timing thing where they had like a hard 3. I think they were airing live on some Saudi channel, so they're like, just cut that match.
Huh? Okay.
Apparently. So, anyways, let's move on to the main event. We've got the men's Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. Bobby Lashley defending against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, and Riddle, who fucked up his flip-flop entrance for the first time, I think.
He never screws that up, eh?
Yeah, he as he jumped, they just kind of slipped and fell right below him. And the crowd was like, "Oh," and he was like, "Oh, bro." But then Seth Rollins comes out, and he's one of the most over guys in this match. They were just the crowd singing his song and loving everything he's doing. And yeah,
he should be over like Rover,
turn him
baby.
Babyface.
Yeah,
he should be babyface. He goes through these cycles. But anyways, let's get into the match here. Seth Rollins starts against Austin Theory, and things are going well. Rollins picks up Theory, power bombs him into one of the pods, which breaks through it, crashes down hard onto Bobby Lashley. So Lashley's down, he's hurt. The officials come in to check on him, and eventually he's removed from the match.
Cody
placed
Rhodes.
in concussion.
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
What about Cody
I
Rhodes?
was sitting at the fucking dinner table in Jess's parents'
you
living
thought Cody.
room. Well, I'm sitting there, and like everyone's kind of like we're kind of like preparing for a party, and kind of everyone's around, but I'm like I'm gonna watch this on low volume because like I need to watch this now. And then he goes, and I'm like. I kind of like hands on back of head, and I'm just kind of murmuring to myself, "Oh my God, it's happening! It's happening! It's happening!" Everybody says, "What are you talking about?" And I say, "Long. It's too long to explain, but I think it's gonna happen. It's happening! It's happening!" Bobby Lashley gets escorted out of the ring, meaning that there are only 4 competitors.
Yeah,
Five.
And we are
Five of 6.
5 of 6, and we are guaranteed a new champion because they say he will not be coming back. And no, I did not have any Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
I mean, that would have been cool, but no, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, he's not coming back. I didn't really think.
Oh shit!
There has been.
My mind went straight to it's happening. It's happening. It's happening right now.
I mean, that'd be it. I don't know. I don't know how Saudi would react. I'm sure they would know a lot of them, but I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Bobby Lashley is out of the match. New champion guaranteed, as we said. So Matt Riddle, he comes out next. He goes on a roll. Then Seth grabs him, hits a big inverted suplex off the top rope. Then AJ Styles comes out. He's just laying into everyone. And then the countdown for the next entrant happens, and it lands on Bobby Lashley. But he's already gone. So at this point, Brock's the only one left in his pod, and he doesn't want to wait around. So he just kicks the door off, breaks the damn thing down, and once he's out of the pod, just unleashes carnage on everyone. Picks up Rollins, hits an F5, eliminates him, grabs Riddle, F5, eliminates him. Next is AJ, suplex, then an F5, so he's gone. So just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory. Theory knows he's in some deep shit, so he just tries to run away, and Brock takes off his gloves, chases him around. Theory tries to hide in a pod, so Brock kicks the wall down again and drags him out. So Theory's desperate. He hits Brock with a low blow, drop kicks him in the head, and then when Brock's down, he just tries to climb up the cage wall, and he gets to the top. He actually squeezes half his body out. He's partway through the cage, but Brock climbs up, grabs him, pulls him down, so they're both standing on top of the pod now. And he just smashes Theory's head against the wall a couple times, picks him up, F5s him off the top of the pod to the chamber floor. So big fall there. And then Brock just drags him back into the ring, covers him, gets a 3. So once again, Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion, world title reign, number 10.
Wow, 10. Jesus.
Number 10. That puts him fourth,
I don't
fifth.
know. I don't know about that. I don't know about this one. I just feel like, because it's Brock Lesnar, and I feel like I'm coming out of this same thing I came out after the Rumble. Right? It's like Brock didn't need to win for you to book him to be the strongest dude in the fucking company, because he's already the fucking strongest dude in the company. Like, you don't need to do shit like this for him to be in that position.
It just makes me wonder what was going to happen, because day one it was supposed to be him versus Reigns. He wasn't supposed to be WWE champion on that day, and I mean, what would have happened at the Rumble? What would have happened? I mean, who knows?
Now I did hear retrospectively that Bobby Lashley is hurt.
Yeah, I have heard that,
and he got hurt at the Rumble, so now this was like a way to kind of like book it off of him or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, even going into WrestleMania, I didn't think he was the champ going into last year's Mania. I don't think that's a big match to have him again, Lashley. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, doesn't matter. Brock's won the title. They announced it's going to be title versus title at WrestleMania. So.
And now, what the hell does that? Are we getting what? We're getting rid of what title are we getting rid of? Right.
I don't think we're getting rid of them. I think they'll just hold them both. And then Money in the Bank comes around. They lose one, keep the other.
And then Roman.
Probably Roman. He keeps the Universal, so he can go to 1,000 days and loses
so he can be Bruno Sammartino days. And similar to Roman Reigns defeating Goldberg to defeat every former Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar defeated every former African American WWE Champion. So, way to go, Brock? Question mark?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, I preferred the women's chamber match, but
because
overall,
it's to this thing where it was too predictable almost. Right?
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean, especially Austin Theory at the end, you're like, okay, we already know.
Like, you throw Brock into a chamber, and you're like, okay, so one of 3 things is going to happen. Either he loses because they all get, because of a low blow. Like, I think in all of his matches, he gets low. In all of the matches where it's close to him losing, it's due to a low blow. You think he would just wear he would just wear a jock at this point, right?
Well, overall, though, I thought pretty good pay-per-view. The last 2 in Saudi have been really good overall.
What was the last one? What was the main event there?
Crown Jewel, I think, in October. What was the main event? I can't remember. I just remember it was another crowd was really hot,
Yeah.
just like this one.
Okay.
The crowd makes it. The crowd gives it an extra thing, and
Well, of course.
yeah. But yeah, two shortest chamber matches in history, both under 16 minutes. Where before that, the shortest one was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I wonder why. They just wanted to like kind of get it over with. You want to jam pack the show, maybe. So,
Yeah.
you have a lot of matches on there, and then
Yeah. But that was it. Elimination Chamber. Overall, I enjoyed most of the show. So
cool.
See.
Let's move on. Then. Great chamber. Congratulations to everybody who came out a victor. Let's move through the week by first going back in time through the week. Let's move back to the Friday because we have some results from this week's edition of Rampage.
Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage. Rampage.
Yeah, we had Adam Cole take on Preston Vance, who had the crowd doing the whole 10 chant.
10.
The new Ty
10,
Dillinger there.
10.
Yeah.
10.
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got it. Hey, it's nice. It's nice to see it happen. Just not in I think where are they? I think they were in Tennessee. I think.
Something like that. Anyways, 10 does pretty good. Gets some close calls. Locks in a full Nelson, but then Cole moves towards the corner, blocks Aubrey's view, kicks 10 right in the balls, then hits the boom to get the win.
It's fantastic. Yeah, Adam Cole on this hot streak. Of course, we know he's taking on Adam Page. We're in the Battle of the Atoms.
That's what they're saying. Who's the best Adam? We don't know yet.
We don't know.
Dante Martin taking on Powerhouse Hobbs for a Revolution ladder match qualifier. So, big man Hobbs just using that power, tossing Dante all over the place. But, Dante says, all right, I can toss myself too. And just these high-flying moves that we all know and love. But in the end, the strength wins this round as Hobbs hits a massive spine buster, gets the win. So a little bit of a surprise. I thought, Dante would be all over that ladder match, doing some crazy
Well,
shit.
and so far, now that I'm looking at the lineup in the ladder match, I don't know if Dante Martin has the beef to stand it.
Yeah, and I think Wardlow.
Wardlow!
A lot of beef.
A lot of beef.
Yeah.
This is Vince McMahon's dream match coming up.
But I mean, someone's got to be able to climb that ladder.
Yeah. Whoever's the one. Yeah, keep an eye. We'll have to keep an eye out for who's the one stabilizing the bottom.
Yeah. Up next, Serena Deeb takes on Angelica Risk, making her AEW debut. But once again, Deeb's got the self-imposed 5-minute clock and doesn't think much of her opponent. Just destroys her. Locks in the Serenity Now.
Yeah.
Serenity Now to get that to happen.
These 5-minute challenges, we know what's going on. You're gonna get the win.
Yeah. Then the main event, we had Trent Beretta taking on Jay White, making his AEW debut here, and nice reaction for him. Crowd doing the too sweet, whoop, whoop,
Whoop whoop.
all that fun stuff. So, match was pretty good. Just some back and forth, working over Trent's back. Then at one point, Jay White starts strumming the air guitar, mocking Tanahashi. So, hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see him here sometime as well.
Mm-hmm.
Trent fights back, hits a big moonsault to the floor, but then White just cuts him off, suplexes him onto a chair, which just
It
crumples.
broke
the
in
thing.
half.
Yeah, so that thing's fucked. And so is Trent. He gets thrown back into the ring and hit with the Blade Runner to give the win to Jay White. So nice debut, him.
Not only a nice debut for Jay White, but a great night for the Elite. I gotta say, having Adam Cole and Jay White bookending this show with wins is making the Elite, making them look as strong as ever.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, especially moving forward. Solid episode of Rampage. We don't need a surprise on every single AEW show.
No.
It can be normal sometimes.
Yeah, that was fine. Fine episode of Rampage.
Yeah,
So
just fine.
let's just jump
through the weekend, through Saudi. Let's get ourselves. We're back home, safe and sound. Nobody was sitting on a tarmac for 7.5 hours, or whatever the hell happened before. Because we're live, and it is time for Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Yeah, there'll be a Dark Side of the Ring episode on that one.
Oh, hopefully. Love to see what Pritchard has to say.
Have you watched any more of that?
Yeah, we're still going. I think we're on season 2 now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, Monday Night Raw. Here we are. Show opens up with the new WWE champ, Cowboy Brock Lesnar, coming out. And he's all smiles. You know, when he's got that cowboy hat on, you can just tell he's in a great mood.
He's in a good mood.
Just loves being himself. And, he comes down. He's looking forward to WrestleMania, the title versus title main event. And, yeah, he's having fun. He's interacting with the South Carolina crowd. Then Paul Heyman interrupts and puts over his client Roman and hypes up the big match. Tells us Brock Lesnar has to defend the WWE title March 5th in Madison Square Garden. Or maybe not. Depends if Lashley can make it. I don't know. It was kind of weird.
I guess, is that just the house show at MSG?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but Lesnar calls Heyman a dick, and Heyman says, "See you at the Garden." So whatever. See what happens.
No, we'll see what happens.
Nothing will happen.
Maybe it's a...
We won't, actually.
Yeah, well, we probably, hopefully not, because it's a house show, and we shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no curtain call show up on my feed.
All right. Then we get our first match. Street Profits taking on Alpha Academy. Non-title match. Ford goes for a springboard sunset flip, but Gable catches him midair with a nice Northern Lights suplex. Beautiful reversal there. But then it comes down to Ford and Otis, and Ford picks up Otis. He's got him up. The crowd pops, but the weight is just too much as Ford collapses and Otis falls on top of him. Ref starts counting the pin, and Gable holds down Montez's foot from the outside, so Otis gets the 3.
You know, that wonky finish. Very dirty finish. I mean, I guess we don't see that too often. It wasn't like the normal kind of DQ thing. Like, this could have easily have been a DQ, so I'm glad that we got a 1, 2, 3.
And I mean, Ford, you know, you picked up Otis and he fell on you. It's kind of your fault.
It's your fault.
Yeah, man. Anyways, after that, we got the Dirty Dogs taking on Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa, who's finally making his in-ring main roster debut.
Yeah, very. Has he been added to one of the rosters on WWE.com? Because I guess that's how you really know.
I haven't checked.
Yeah, me neither.
But match was solid. You know, Ciampa, Balor working pretty good together. Ciampa hits a sunset flip on Rude, and that gets the 3. So at least they let him get a win. Already off to a better start than Karrion Kross.
already one. You're one.
Then the Miz comes out from Miz TV, just cuts a promo on the Mysterios and says, "I found a new tag team partner for WrestleMania, someone I can relate to, someone I can trust, from a fighting family, a pioneer. He's very dashing." So at this point, we're like, "Oh, Cody Rhodes hints going on here." But then I'm also thinking, like, he's not going to team with The Miz, but they're dropping hints. And Ray and Dominic interrupt, and Ray says, whoever this outsider you're talking about is, he can go right back wherever he came from. And Miz brings out the partner. It's Logan Paul. So everyone boos. And, I mean, that's good for Cody, though. He deserves a better match.
Yeah, and Logan Paul has a lot of heat. So, you know, you want
I mean,
Miz
he plays into
heat.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's good at working the crowd. He doesn't stumble, so whatever. They'll fight. People will... Yeah. It'll happen. Father and son versus Miz and...
Well, yeah, we actually saw Logan Paul on the mic this time. I feel like when he showed up last year around Mania, he was never... I swear he got more lines in this week than he did during his whole... I remember he was with Sami Zayn last Mania.
Yeah.
He got.
He said some stuff.
Yeah, but I feel like he got more in this promo than he did that whole kind of first run there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He even hit a skull crushing finale on Dominic at the end.
Isn't that cool? I mean, that's one of the easier finishers to hit.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
Nah.
Then we got a preview. Veer Mahan still coming soon.
He's still coming, baby. He's still coming soon.
I mean, at this point, it's just a running joke, right?
I think it is. At this point, like
there's no. It's Veer Mahan. It's impossible to live up to the hype.
Yeah, it's not like. Yeah, I mean, if it kept saying, Tommaso Ciampa coming soon, we're like, yeah. I feel like he hasn't proved anything. Not to say that he can't. Not to say that he couldn't once he gets here. But yeah, you have to prove something for there to be hype, and there's no hype.
Yeah. I mean, we saw you before. We've seen you wrestle, so we know that you're not. I mean, unless something. Crazy
I mean, at least with the Rhea Ripley coming to Raw, at least that was more of like a, there was something to it, some sustenance. Yeah.
Oh well. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, she's out next, taking on Nikki Ash, of course. Never-ending feud. But Rhea ends the match pretty quickly. Just dominates her, hits the Riptide, and gets another win. So it's like, come on. She's destroyed Nikki. 6-0. Let's just move on.
Yeah, move on. It's because at this point it's making Nikki Cross look bad.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, just ditch the superhero costume, turn into a villain, do whatever you need to do.
Like, we're past that, I think, at this point.
Yeah. Damian Priest takes on Shelton Benjamin. Cedric Alexander outside causing distractions, and Shelton hits a big knee, hits the pay dirt, gets a big 2 count. But then Priest just fights back, hits the Reckoning to get the win. Then it occurred to me, maybe this could be the feud for Cody at WrestleMania, They got the same finisher, and Cody's Mr. USA, and Damian Priest is the United States champion.
He does have that tattoo, but I think if if one of the main problems was Cody's booking, because he booked himself into a corner in AEW, right? He remember that first match. He was like, if I lose, I can't challenge for the title again. He booked himself into a corner. You think that if he's worried about his booking, he's like, hey, if I'm coming, I'm winning the championship immediately.
I mean, I think he'll get it, but I mean, I don't think he'll beat Roman Reigns or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, nor should he.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, but just throwing that out there.
Cool.
Could be a potential. That's only me. That's all. So if you see it happen, it's because I called it.
Okay, you called it.
Cody versus Priest.
Heard it here first,
Anyways.
folks. Heard it here first.
24/7 champion Reggie comes out, invites Dana Brooke out to explain his story, but the crowd just says, what? They don't care about anything he's saying. But Reggie wants to apologize. He asks the ref to come out, and he just lays down so Dana Brooke can cover him. So she does, but he kicks out. And then she pins him again. He kicks out. She's like, Reggie. So then she just grabs his face, makes out with him, while pinning him to get the 3. So Dana's champ once again.
I learned that Reggie is a former Cirque du Soleil performer.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Didn't know that.
I think they've mentioned it a bunch.
They've probably mentioned it 1,000 times. I tune out.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. So let's just move on to Bianca Belair coming out. Big reaction. Lots of EST chants. And she just cuts a promo about winning the Chamber, going back to the title match at WrestleMania. And that's when Becky Lynch comes out to respond and says, hey, I main evented WrestleMania first. And Bianca's like, yeah, but I did it better. And I'm inclined to agree with Belair there. But Becky says, yeah, well, I walked out with 2 belts. And this 1 belt here I've been holding since. Nobody's beaten me for it in 3 years. And these people, they used to love me before they loved you. And that's when Doudrop comes out because she's got a match against Bianca. And, we've seen these two have some pretty good matches recently. And, pretty much the same thing once again. Good action. Bianca hits a big spine buster. Doudrop climbs up the ropes. Belair hits her with a big power bomb. And then once again, she picks her up for the KOD and walks all the way to the middle of the ring and then hits it. Just a super impressive spectacle of strength once again, as always. Bianca Belair. Nice win.
Yeah, great win as she heads towards Mania. And Doudrop has fallen into this kind of very 50-50 booking thing. Where she's just constantly losing.
Yeah, I don't know what... yeah, I mean, they got a good hand. She's a good wrestler. She's already 10 times as what Nia Jax could ever be.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
just needs to find her place on the card, I guess. I mean... Well, either way, though, she's got different music. Ever since breaking up with Eva Marie, she's had a lot more of a chance to show.
It's crazy that Doudrop survived a releasing, and Eva Marie was the one who got canned.
Yeah. Edge comes out next to a big reaction, and he says he smells WrestleMania in the air, and just starts talking about his history with the event, all the big moments he's had at WrestleMania. But, he needs an opponent this year. Wants someone to step up. So, that's another opening for a possible Cody Rhodes. But
yeah, maybe. Who doesn't have anything to do right now? Well, I guess a lot of people don't have anything to do right now.
Yeah, we're about probably still halfway booked. I don't know.
Okay.
Who knows? But he's got to come out soon. We only got like 5 weeks, something like that. I don't know. But the main event of Monday Night Raw, RK Bro taking on Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. If Seth and Kevin win, they get added to the upcoming Raw Tag Title match. Match was good. You got 4 good performers in the ring, and as the usual formula, they double team Riddle until Orton gets the hot tag and unleashes the Viper, and then he tag Riddle back in, but then Seth runs in, curb stops Orton on the floor. So now it's just Riddle on his own, and Seth and Owens gang up on him, hit a stunner, hit a curb stomp, get the win. So in 2 weeks, we'll have a triple threat Raw tag title match.
Triple threat tags, baby. We don't see that too often.
Yeah, we've always got good teams. They just never book the division that well.
Never.
But maybe this.
Yeah, never book them too well, But for an episode of Raw, we had some great wrestling. Some hot and cold segments maybe mixed throughout, but maybe not quite the post pay-per-view feeling, but it did accomplish some stuff heading into Mania.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Laid the foundation for some other matches, some questions still need to be answered.
Hopefully, yeah.
We'll find out more.
As the weeks go on. Let's get into a break, though, shall we? We're going to take a break, come back, because, of course, we have NXT 2.0 coming up. And we have all the action from Dynamite, so you're going to want to stick around.
That's right. Don't go anywhere. Stay in for picture-in-picture.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with the second half of the podcast, folks. Thanks for sticking out through the break. And that's all our WrestleMania build coverage we have is in the first half of the show. Now we're on to the serious business. Yeah, just more wrestling. Hey, it's all serious eventually. It's all serious eventually.
This is professional. This is not amateur wrestling.
It's not amateur wrestling. Although, if you subscribe to our Patreon, of course, we have an amateur wrestling podcast where we cover all the best amateur wrestling.
Yeah, Gable Stevenson, upcoming...
and others.
And others.
So let's get in, without further ado, let's get into this week's edition of NXT 2.0.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3.
Because we are hot off the heels of Vengeance Day. Where no titles changed hands, but we are looking forward to Stand and Deliver, which will be occurring on Mania weekend at like 11:30 a.m. or something.
Yeah, an afternoon show, but it'll be on the road, so we'll get a bigger crowd, which will be nice to see.
Hopefully, yeah, it'll be nice to see how the larger crowds or to see how NXT 2.0 performs in front of some of these larger crowds. But of course, and also with our men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic bracket completed, now it's time for the women's bracket to begin, which I think is the way better to do it. I think in previous years they did both concurrently.
Yeah. This is better.
Stretch it out. I mean, you're already trying something new. Stretch it out.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, AEW is supposed to do that Owen Cup sometime this year.
They're doing an Owen Hart
Cup. A men's and women's. So hopefully they do the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
But, we start off with the NXT champ, Braun Breaker, coming out, cutting a promo about the successful title defense. Crowd goes, woof. He's looking forward to NXT Stand and Deliver. And then Dolph Ziggler interrupts and says, hey, man, after I beat Ciampa tonight, I'm coming for that title of yours. So you're the guy here in Orlando, but when I walked through these doors, I became the biggest star. So some big words there.
Big words from little Dolph.
Yeah, but we'll see him later in the main event. Mm-hmm. But before that, we got Grayson Waller taking on LA Knight, who just super hot crowd for Knight. They have a good match here. Things are going pretty well for LA, but then the giant Sanga, I think I already forgot his name, something like that.
Yeah, you forgot it last week, but you got it right this week.
Yeah, Sanga. There you go. He's outside the ring. He grabs Knight, which allows Waller to roll him up, grab the tights, gets the cheap 3 count there.
Okay.
So, yeah, whatever. Backstage, Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai are interacting, and didn't really talk about it much, but Dakota's got this new gimmick where she's, like, crazy. She talks to herself like there's another person there. I don't know. Yeah,
and I guess Dakota Kai never really had a gimmick before, maybe. She was always just kind of like, she kicked ass, she was cool, we liked her.
Raquel. But now she's got these goggles, and she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to make her look crazy. She's like talking to herself, like, what do you think about that? I don't know. Should we tell her? I don't know. But yeah, whatever. I mean, her and Wendy Chu, everyone likes an odd couple, so whatever. They'll team up. Speaking of the Dusty Cup, we also got another training sequence. Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez. That's some sort of outdoor adventure park, climbing trees, zip lining, all that fun stuff. Raquel's the one who's scared. She's nervous of everything.
Well, Raquel doesn't want to lose because she keeps losing.
No, but she's scared of, like, climbing a tree.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But let's start this Dusty Cup off. We got Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai taking on Lash Legend and Amari Miller with Toxic Attraction just kind of watching from this cozy balcony. They got a couch. They got whole thing set up there.
It looked nice up there.
Yeah. But match didn't take too long. Io and Kaylee just dominate. Eventually, Io hits the moonsault, gets the win, sending the two of them to the semifinals.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, like they steamrolled, like Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray just fucking steamrolled over these two, over Amari Miller and Lash Legend.
Yeah, this might have been Lash Legend's first match.
Yeah, I mean, I had never heard the name before. It did prompt me to say, huh?
I mean, she's been on the show. There's some things that I don't even mention because they're that worthless.
Because they're
lashing
that
out with Lash
so
Legend.
Quick and fucking, nothing.
Yeah, it's like the time it would take to talk about it
is not worth the time that,
it would be a disservice to the humanity of mankind to waste 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's move on here because we got Dante Chen taking on Duke Hudson, and Chen attacks Hudson during his entrance, goes after his leg, but Duke is still able to fight back, beat him up, hit the big razor's edge to get the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a big one for Duke Hudson. He's been doing okay, but exactly right because after he's been getting built up for a couple weeks now. Right? I think he's a higher priority here down in 2.0.
Yeah, they like him. I don't really care that much yet.
Yeah.
I mean, they ditched the whole poker thing, it seems, which wasn't doing anything anyway.
Yeah, I guess it really wasn't doing much in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this weird thing where, the way that 2.0 is kind of coming at us with these brand new performers, someone has to go over, so the other one looks bad, and then you're like, great, this new Dante Chen just got now he doesn't have a chance to grow because somebody else is a higher priority.
Yeah.
Where at least, in a traditional squash with like that local enhancement type of talent, it's kind of like, great, like Lance Archer's going to go over some jobber every single fucking week because obviously, but Tony D'Angelo, Duke Hudson can't quite do that yet. It's going to be different. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Okay.
Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams come out, just kind of cutting a promo, putting themselves over. Melo successfully retaining that title. But then Pete Dunne comes out to interrupt the Melibration and just says, "What are you on about?" Challenges him to a match. Melo calls him Skeet Dunne. That one slipped past the censors.
Well, I mean, is that technically a swear?
It's a slang,
it's a slang.
If you were to define Skeet on the air, you'd probably get in trouble.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, Cameron Grimes shows up and because he's got a match against Trick Williams here, so match was decent. Melo on the outside trying to help Trick when he can, but Grimy still takes him out, hits a big crossbody, and then follows up with the cave-in to get the win.
Okay,
So
Grimy's,
yeah.
At least he's still getting something, right?
Yeah, he's still there. He's floating around. I don't know. He probably should win this title at some point soon.
Because that's the thing, right? It's like, and also for Trick Williams, who's been developing quickly here in 2.0, finding his way in the ring or whatever, but he kind of like, and against a guy like Cameron Grimes, he looks capable but not dangerous. So like I was just kind of saying in the previous like Dante Chen example, right? It's like Trick Williams needs to be wrestling people worse than Grimes to make him look like a threat in the future.
Yeah, I get it.
Why am I not booking? Do you know any wrestlers? I'll book it. Let me book it.
Yeah, I mean that'd be fun. I'll take the job.
Yeah, you'll do the job. I'll book.
Another thing that I don't mention every week, we get these Briggs and Jensen making a dating video. Yeah, nothing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's not winning me over on those.
Well,
things.
at least
their in-ring work is fine.
Now we have certainly in the weeks of 2.0. It's been a few months now. We've gone way less on just like a 30-second we'll have 6 30-second vignettes a week of somebody who I'm not going to see for 3 weeks. But at least we're past that, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to establish something. It's just kind of, it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Tough farm boys, love sick puppy. That's what they are.
Yeah, they're kind of like fucking Otis and Tucker 2.0.
Yeah, seems a lot like it. But after that, we get the debut of Nikita Lyons taking on Kayla Inlay, and I mean, Nikita actually had the crowd chanting for her. So hey, didn't have to do much.
Yeah,
Good for her.
I guess they're listening to her solo music or whatever.
Yeah, who knows? Pretty simple match, but she gets most of the offense in and finishes Kayla off with a nice roundhouse kick, and then does like a jumping split leg drop right into the cover to get the 3 count. So
now certainly we do not have an award for worst dressed, but I gotta say, what the fuck was she wearing? It was like it was I can't even describe it. It was like a full body leather singlet that her cat ripped.
It had holes in. Yeah, it had a bunch of holes.
It was
like, in the
so
side.
bizarre. And then and then there's like these little bits of spandex like holding on by a thread. I'm just like, there's and because these people are
Maybe
so
it's like,
heavily marketed, down to everything that they do is so rehearsed. I don't know how this outfit slipped through the cracks. Like every single match, like 95% of the matches that we're watching have been rehearsed down to the second. Yet we fucking missed the ball on this week's outfit change. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't find it quite that jarring.
I
but,
could
mean,
not
maybe
pay
it's
attention to
still,
anything else.
I mean, maybe she wants to show some skin, but do it conservatively. I don't know.
Pick a lane, Nikita Lyons. Pick a lane.
Well, we cut backstage where Persia Parada is making out with Duke Hudson. And Indy Hartwell's not happy. She's disappointed. And then it's revealed that she has a past. Her and Hudson used to fool around or something.
When?
I don't know. This is backstory.
Tell me
this is all backstory.
When
High school.
Pre-way? Come on. When
before she even knew Dexter.
Yeah, before she even knew Dexter, when he was in Boston, Massachusetts, and she was in Brisbane, Australia, mate.
Yeah.
She was putting shrimp on the bobbies for her first 23 years. Jesus Christ, people. Come on.
I mean,
like,
Dexter,
do they think I forget? Is that what it is? Are they trying to no? We're retconning this whole relationship angle we did. We're gonna retcon that.
What? Who's to say? Who's to say they didn't know each other?
Okay.
Pre NXT.
Okay.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
It does. And the more you say it doesn't matter, the worse.
All right, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, thank you.
It matters to Dexter, though. He hears everything, and he looks very upset. So, after that, the Creed brothers come out, celebrate their Dusty Cup win. Malcolm Bivens cuts a promo on Imperium. They come out to respond. Crowd chants Walter at Gunther.
Good.
So they're not letting that slide.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm not letting it slide. I'm not letting it slide.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Fight hard enough. Who knows what happens? Gunther comes in, puts his hands on Bivens, but then Solo Sikoa shows up. He attacks Gunther, and he actually drops him with a super kick.
Yeah.
So that could lead to something.
Yeah, we could leave something down the road.
Yeah. Who knows? After that, another Dusty Cup first-round match. Ivy Nile teaming up with Tatum Paxley, who I don't think we've ever seen before.
Didn't ring a bell to me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a good partner for Isle. Tough looking fighter chick kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, two of them taking on Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter. So Team KC there have a little bit more chemistry and even got matching gear now. So watch out.
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about matching gear, so at least they could win it.
Yeah, they're in it.
Yeah,
they're in it to win it. And, they got those acrobatics, crazy moves pulling off there. And, eventually they hit their finisher, the neckbreaker 450 splash combo, get the win. Advance to the semifinals to face Io and Kaylee Ray. So,
okay, that's something.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Ivy's pissed, beats up Paxley, so she's already done with her.
I think one of them said something about no, never mind. But Roddy Strong.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. He was cheering on Ivy Nile when she was choking the hell out of Paxley. So
yeah, so
that's something.
I mean, he's around.
That's
still.
something.
Let's go to this main event. We got Dolph Ziggler taking on Tommaso Ciampa. And Ziggler's kind of grown out his beard a little bit for the occasion. The match Ciampa's grisliness. There.
Yeah. This might actually be the longest beard we've ever seen on him.
Yeah, something different. Pretty good wrestling here. Crowd was loving it. Just back and forth. Ciampa hits the big lung blower. Big needle to Ziggler's head. Gets a near fall. Crowd was chanting "Fight Forever" at one point. They were loving this that much. And Ziggler hits the zigzag on the floor. And then Ciampa hits an air raid crash on the apron. So they're pulling out some big moves here. They go back in the ring. The ref is checking on Ziggler. And that's when a cameraman comes running in, smashes the camera on Ciampa. The ref didn't see it. Ziggler follows up with a big super kick, and that gets him the win. So that's a big win with a big assist there to the cameraman, who for the 10 seconds I didn't even think. I was like, who could it be? But of course, he takes off the outfit, reveals himself. Former NXT champion Robert Roode, the glorious one himself.
Yeah, I was also thinking, who is it? Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, Dirty Dogs, right?
Yeah. So it was funny. Nice callback though for Rude and NXT, and yeah, I mean, nice twist. I wasn't expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, but Ziggler gets the win, and I mean, you would think that means he stays more matches in NXT. Because afterwards, the Dirty Dogs, they beat up Ciampa, so Breaker runs out, makes a save, challenges them both to a tag match next week, so we're at least getting that.
Okay.
And I think we might even... I think Breaker versus Ziggler could be a match for the title we get as well.
So is this because there's no actual challenger for this NXT Championship? Is that why? Because, like, with Ciampa...
I don't know.
Like... So who else are our top dogs are right now in NXT, right? Grayson Waller. LA Knight. Gunther, Walter.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like not even just to have a match. You can't even just have a match with somebody because there's nobody, I think, maybe even on Braun Breaker's level right now. Short of Walter, who's in a level of his own, but
yeah, and you don't want him to
exactly.
lose.
We don't want him to lose, and you don't want Braun Breaker to lose.
And I mean, Ziggler, when you give him the time, he can have a good match. I think. That
Of course, nobody loses better than Dolph Ziggler.
And yeah, I forget what I was going to say.
Okay.
It doesn't yeah, maybe this will be the thing they do. Like like we had AJ Styles last month, Ziggler this month. They'll just rent a wrestler every month.
Yeah, kind of like rent a dude to put him over and also these are, you know, some of the guys who have worked the longest in the industry, who are going to be 1,000% safe, who are going to put...
They can teach him, all right, kid, remember when you picked me up, look at the camera for the finisher.
Shit like that.
Like
yeah, exactly, right? Like those types of things that you get with veteran experience. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know, but I'm intrigued.
Me too.
Ziggler.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
But that was NXT 2.0. So let's just hop on over to the next night. We're talking about Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
And we just kind of jump right into the action here. We got 20 men, 10 tag teams for a battle royal here. Both members of the team have to be eliminated, of course.
I love when a show starts and everybody's in the ring already. Love it. Because like JR says, it's Wednesday night, you know what that means. Ding, ding, ding. And then the action just hits.
And that's it. Winning team gets the title shot at Revolution. Yeah, pretty standard battle royal. But you got a lot of good teams in here. Of course, Santana and Ortiz picking up some eliminations. And Best Friends, Butcher Blade, Young Bucks, Red Dragon, FTR.
Santana had a great showing this whole time. This whole performance was fantastic.
Yeah, him and Trent were having a good back and forth. I think, it comes down to the final 6 men are all 6 individuals. Santana, he was one of the MVPs. Big boost when he got eliminated because him and Ortiz, I think, were the team a lot of us wanted to see win. And
probably.
They didn't get. Yeah, so they're gone. Dax Harwood gets eliminated, so FTR is gone. Comes down to the final 3. Kyle O'Reilly, Matt Jackson, John Silver. The 2 heels team up against Silver. Matt throws him over the ropes, eliminates him, but then Kyle, right away from behind, throws Matt over as well to get the win. So big title shot for him and Bobby Fish.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. And we've seen, in their first title opportunity. And we've said this before about some AEW show. I don't know if you got this vibe. This might have been one of the hottest wrestling crowds I have ever heard on television. from 8 p.m. to 10:02 probably. This crowd was on fire.
Yeah, no, it was a great crowd.
There was 3 individual Johnny Hungy, full stadium cheers. It was insane.
Do you know where they were?
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Bridgeport. I mean, maybe they don't come to town.
I mean, I think that's what it is, right? If you go to a place where wrestling doesn't come to very often,
yeah, they're like, we gotta fucking go.
you know, it's kind of like that Toronto. It's why we boo Bailey, because what else are we gonna do, right?
Yeah. So, fun opening match. Afterwards, Hangman comes out, beats up Kyle and Bobby, and the Young Bucks are standing there. They're like, go ahead.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, so Adam Cole runs out, though, to help his boys, and Hangman lays him out, goes for a buckshot lariat, but then Red Dragon pull him out to save him, and Page just grabs a mic, cuts a promo, and says you left the place that was crumbling apart to join AEW, chasing the big prize that I've got, and talks about digging a grave and being the superior Adam. I think he hit Kyle with a buckshot lariat at the end.
He ends up hitting Kyle O'Reilly with that buckshot lariat there. And huge. As soon as Adam Page said, time for story time with Adam Page, baby, this crowd blew up. Also, one little side note, Mike, maybe you caught it, maybe it didn't happen. It's such a minute detail, but I caught it, and who the hell knows. Outside the ring, while Adam Hangman Page is giving his promo, Adam Cole is holding up, and Bobby Fish are holding up Kyle O'Reilly. Go back and listen to this if you want. Listen to Bobby Fish's little he's not mic'd, little interjections to what Adam Page has to say. Between lines in this promo, holy shit, this guy was great. I mean, the promo was fine. I was hanging on to Bobby Fish's words.
Yeah, no, I didn't really catch that.
Oh yeah, go back. It's funny. He's going, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Who does this guy think he is? It was just, It was so cartoonishly devilish, cartoonishly mean. It was great.
Well, after that, we had Maxwell Jacob Friedman coming out to cut a promo, and he gets pretty serious. He starts talking about his past and, his love for professional wrestling, and goes into his childhood. He had learning disabilities, ADD, and school was hell for him. And, one year he finally made the football team. He thought, I'm finally going to be popular. But then the next day he went to school, and the kids threw rolls of quarters at him and said, pick it up, Jew boy. So, his hard life growing up, but he had one thing he was looking forward to. He got to meet CM Punk, his hero, at the age of 11. And after that, he promised he was going to be just like his hero Punk. He was going to be the best wrestler in the world. And, MJF, he was just pouring his heart out here. You're thinking, is there going to be a swerve? What's going on? But he's just getting emotional. You can see tears flowing in his eyes. And he says, when CM Punk left all of us in 2014, he's like, if he can't do it, then I can't do it. And it was devastating for him. And eventually he just brings it all back around to the upcoming dog collar match for Revolution. And there really was no swerve. He just poured his heart out, and CM Punk came out and was like, what's going on? Are you telling the truth? What was this all about? And MJF he can barely look at him. He's got tears coming down his face and walks off. So this was just some fantastic microphone work from MJF.
This, Mike. Wow.
Let's
just give
promo of the year.
Let's just give it to you right now. Let's crown ourselves a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week.
Let's give him an Emmy.
Let's give the guy a prime time Emmy. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, our Maxwell Jacob Friedman, our MJF, got off stage and let his fans know that was the hardest moment of my life. Thank you. And you fucking heard it. He started off almost crying. He finished with fucking tears in his eyes. Meltzer, Alvarez, Sean Sapp. This was one of the best promos of all. Find me a better one. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. This was
Daniel Bryan's retirement.
Well, this was
I cried at that one.
This was an all-timer, of all time.
Yeah. No, he left a piece of himself out there. He gave it to everyone.
I mean, and honestly, so I was just applauding the fans earlier on. They sucked in this promo, man. They so did. I feel as though every single MJF promo is like the house is silent because we all just want to be a part of it. For some reason, this crowd was just being a bunch of fucking assholes to me. Like it was the one promo I didn't want the crowd to actually be loud during. And the crowd was kind of all over the place with this one. Was there a swerve? No.
I feel like they were waiting for one.
They were waiting for it too hard, maybe. And the way Punk came out, is that true? Is that true? And MJF said 1,000 words without saying one.
I love how Punk didn't have a mic. He was just asking him like person to person.
You have to, if you were live and if you were there, you will have to go and rewatch that footage to see what the hell to see what the hell actually happened. We can chalk this one up. Someone will have to die for us to get a better pro. I'm serious. I cannot think of anything that could possibly top an all-time. This was one of the best you'll ever see. I've written it down. I wrote him down. It's Shooty's 2022. He's written down.
Yeah,
Promo of the year. MJF Jew Boy. That's kind of what I wrote. I'll find a better way to refine exactly what it was, what that was. No, but this is why the kid's fucking 26 years old, 25,
something like.
And he's 25 years old and the best talker in the business. That's insane. And he can do a destroyer. He can do both.
And I mean, next week's the go home show, so they're gonna have to follow this up somehow. But,
oh my lord, how are we gonna follow this up? Jesus.
This really twists things around. I mean, he's he's planted a seed for whenever he wants to be a babyface.
Babyface MJF. I'm ready for it. 2022.
Who knows? But yeah, crazy, fantastic promo.
Yes.
I mean, they've been doing it all year, him and Punk.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what's next.
Mm-hmm.
But next on this show, we had Brody King, Malachi Black taking on Pac and Penta Oscura, which is it's kind of mostly the same Penta. He was wearing more black, I guess, right?
Yeah, so what's the deal there? Does he have to copyright a new name? Because between like Penta L0M, Penta L0 Miedo, Pentagon Jr., and then Penta Oscuro, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't follow.
Yeah, but he's pretty much the same wrestler as always. Nice, fast-paced.
And that's the thing. I was hoping for like even some sort of consistency. I kind of do. So when he appears in AAA, he appears as Pentagon Jr. However, when he's performing in AEW, he does not perform as Pentagon Jr. He always performs as Penta L0 Miedo. Mm-hmm. Okay? I've been trying to follow some consistencies on his Pro Fight DB page. It sort of seems like he just chooses what he wants to be called, where he wants to be called it. It's bizarre.
I'll just stick to Penta.
Penta. I like it.
Match was fun. Lots of cool double team moves. Later on, Malachi goes for the Black Mist, but Penta sees it and just shoves his hand, covers Black's mouth. So Malachi swallows this poison, whatever.
Which then got me thinking, what is it actually? What is the Black Mist? Is it just food coloring?
I would imagine so. It probably doesn't taste good though.
Probably not.
But chokes on the mist, which allows Penta to roll him up and get the 3. So the House of Black, they're pissed off after, beat up the baby faces. Malachi grabs a shovel. He's ready to slam it down chop Penta's head off with this thing. But then the lights go out, turn back on, and Buddy Matthews is here. The former Buddy Murphy, of course. Looks like he's here to help the baby faces, but he ends up attacking Penta and Pac instead. So it looks like we found a new member for the House of Black.
aligning himself with the House of Black. Holy shit chant, hot crowd. Holy shit chants ringing throughout Bridgeport, Connecticut. Everyone chanting buddy, buddy, buddy.
Yeah. And at the end, he hit the big the curb stomp onto the chair.
I
Hold your arms back.
I saw a great tweet. It was just some fan saying something like, "Thanks Vince for booking AEW," and then it was a shot of SmackDown. Remember when Aleister Black was in his little room, and it was like a little room, and then there was a sign on the door that said Aleister Black, and then it was formerly Buddy Murphy, walking past the door, just like looking at it. Vince has booked the majority of Malachi Black's AEW run so far.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much everything but the that entrance thing he used to have.
Yeah,
when he crawled like a rising.
Yeah.
After this, we got some more promo. Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho with a face-to-face. We got security guards in the ring, but Eddie just tells Chris, "Hey man, I'm not a sports entertainer. I'm a fighter. So let's stop wasting time.
I'm not sports entertainment. This is sports entertainment.
Yeah.
It's wrestling.
It's a wrestling company.
It's a wrestling company. We want sports entertainment. It's down the road.
Yeah, go down the block.
Go down the block."
And Jericho's like, "Yeah. Well, there's a reason I never heard of you before AEW. You look like a jobber."
Well, talking about looks, Jericho was standing like he was constantly in the middle of a band photo shoot. So, leather jacket, undone, no shirt, but like perfectly spread with his hands kind of in the loops of his pockets, showing off his midriff. He did look. He's
lost a couple pounds.
He has lost a couple lbs. I will give him that.
I could actually see abs.
I could actually see a little bit, you know. But he did the way he was just standing there. I was like, "Oh, fuck you."
Oh yeah, you know he's thinking he's a rock
Of course
star.
he loves it. Yeah.
And yeah. So, but then Jericho's like, "Yeah, but then I saw you're actually pretty good, Eddie." So Eddie's like, "Fight me at Revolution then." Jericho says, "You know what? You'll never win the big one. You've got," I forget, he says some weird word. something phobia. "You never win the big one, and I'm the big one in this company, so you want me, you got it." And then Eddie says, "All right, but don't give me the Jericho that did the Mimosa match. Give me the AEW World Champion Chris Jericho. Give me the guy that Levesque hated.
Give me the guy Levesque hated."
Levesque, sorry.
That got a nice
Sorry.
one. That got a nice little
Yeah.
woo.
Triple H reference, yeah, there. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, as expected, you're usually going to get a nice passionate promo from
the
these
two
guys,
of them.
so.
No, this was a great promo between the two of them, for sure. Jericho does this one thing, and I swear he's the only one who does it. And which is funny because you think this would happen all the time. Jericho is always the only one who misremembers the date of the pay-per-view. And it happens, like, you know, because you would think anytime, you know, anyone's problem with this Sunday, March 5th, Revolution, like, you know, like everyone's doing it during their promos, you know, it happens all the time. He said May, but he does it so quick. He'll say, "And then when we meet on May 5th, March 5th at Revolution," and I swear it's always only him that does it. But yeah, I don't care. Anyway, I don't care. I notice. I notice. I don't care.
Yeah, this is a fun.
It happens.
It happens. After this, we got Ricky Starks taking on 10 in a Revolution ladder match qualifier.
He gets two opportunities? That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, it's the way it is.
Ricky Starks.
It's
Ricky Starks.
10. Yeah, Ricky Starks pulling out some dirty tricks. 10 was in control, so Starks grabs his mask, spins it around so he can't see. Then he hits a spear, it gets the win. Starks is going to Revolution.
He's going off. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, you're a little.
Wardlow, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, and there is still one TBD. Whether or not that is determined before the show, whether or not it's kind of like a Joker type thing, we'll see.
I mean, Cesaro, free agent.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, it technically would be something.
Yeah, but something fantastic.
Okay.
After that, Jade Cargill defends her TBS title against the Bunny. And Jade coming out with some new green hair, looking like the Joker there. Looking cool. Bunny puts up a decent fight, gets a couple of moves in, and Matt Hardy distracts the ref and then tosses the brass knuckles in. But then on the other side, Mark Sterling, he slides Jade the TBS title, so they both got a weapon. Bunny tries to punch Jade with the knuckles, but Jade just blocks it with the belt, and soon after picks her up, hits the Jaded, gets the win. 28-0. And just like Goldberg, she says, "Who's next?" And Ty Conti comes out and says, "Me."
Me! I'm next, Jade!
Revolution? That's your match, maybe?
Well, certainly the CBS Championship needs to be featured on there in some capacity. The AEW Women's Championship will be there. So, I mean, hey, we can have 2 women's matches on the card, right?
Yeah, I mean, why not? We should.
I mean, amen.
We should. The main event of this Dynamite, we had Bryan Danielson taking on Daniel Garcia. We know Bryan's trying to take this guy under his wing and just show him his way around the ring, but in doing so, he's got to be violent, like he said. But as expected, just some excellent wrestling here. Mm-hmm. Submissions, chain wrestling, lots of good stuff. Eventually, Bryan just grabs a hold of his arms, stomps away on his head, locks in the triangle, and just flexes his arms as Garcia passes out. Bryan wins. And then afterwards, Bryan gets on the microphone, says, "Garcia, that's exactly what I wanted to see." But then 2.0 attack Bryan, beat him down until Jon Moxley comes out. Huge pop, makes the save. Garcia then tries to sneak up, hit Moxley from behind with a chair. Bryan stops him. Moxley hits the paradigm shift. And then Bryan grabs the mic, says to Moxley, "All right, in order to fight together, you want to bleed together. I don't need this to make anyone bleed." He slams down the chair, says, "At Revolution, you got it. But don't be surprised if you're the only person bleeding."
Don't be surprised if you're the only person bleeding. Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Remember, well, of course, if we all remember that one leaked, what was it? Was it All Out? The All Out leaked card that we were
Full Gear.
Full Gear. That's what it was. That's what it was. We were supposed to get Moxley Danielson, and now we are.
Yeah, and I mean, we can get the best of both worlds. It sounds like they can have the match and then still team up afterwards. So,
which is kind of what we want for turn for
they
the
bleed
Mega Powers.
together and then they break bread together. And...
Exactly, and for Daniel Garcia, any match with Bryan Danielson is a win. If you're just being in the ring with him is a win. Daniel Garcia. I mean,
you got
also,
to main event Dynamite.
Main eventing Dynamite. Daniel Garcia also just won the PWG Battle of Los Angeles. Surviving the 2-day tournament, beating one of my personal favorites and Canadian Speedball Mike Bailey. Unfortunately, would have been nice to see Mike Bailey go over there in the final matchup, but Daniel Garcia, a lot of good things happening for him.
Oh yeah.
Next thing, I don't know. I want to see Speedball Mike Bailey. I want to see Mike Bailey show up here in AEW. But hey, that's just me. Can't get everything you want.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, everything's on the table.
It's all man. That's the yeah. You're telling me. And that was our episode of All Elite Wrestling Dynamite, and that was all of our weekly wrestling action. So let's get into our very final thing of the very final segment of the week, and of course that is bringing you the Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Mike, I'll kick you off here on this one. A lot of great in-ring action all over the globe, quite frankly. We were surprised with everything, but man, I think I just got to go MJF. I can't think of any reason why I wouldn't. And then I was thinking to myself, like, we saw great performances from Bianca Belair, great performances from Rhea Ripley. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, they're always giving us great shit. And then I'm like, well, MJF's always given us great shit, but I don't know. I was trying to think of the reasons why it shouldn't be him, and that was too difficult. So I think just because of that, MJF, you're my wrestler of the week.
Yeah, I mean, very, very good choice. It was hard, but I did think of one reason, so I'll give it to someone else. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we almost saw a man die. And it was one of the most horrific bumps I've ever seen in a wrestling ring. And I got to give him something for that. I mean, Madcap Moss, you're a good wrestler. I hate your gimmick, but you're a good guy. And that was fucking insane. That bump. Yeah, wow. If that was like Darby Allin or Jungle Boy, someone a bit smaller, they could be dead.
Yeah.
They didn't have that muscle, the neck there that you got. So, yeah, scary moment, but tough son of a bitch. He finishes the match, and yeah, thankfully he's okay. And I mean, going in, I didn't even want this match on the card, and now it's something I'll never forget.
Well, hey,
Crazy
and isn't that what it's all about? Something you'll never forget. And that's what it's all about. Anyways.
Visually, that visual looked way worse than Owen Hart dropping Austin on his head. So.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because at least you couldn't really see it when Owen drops Austin, you know, or like you can, but
it's like an inch of error that he made.
Yeah, and with that, there was a lot of thighs involved there. You can't really see it, but this, and the fact that they kept going back to it
before you know if he's even okay. Like we've already seen it.
Going back, yeah,
but
which is something. And that's all the time we have for the podcast this week, folks. Thanks for listening. Rate, like, subscribe. Show us everywhere. Come back next week because we will have our it's our big kind of like last show before Revolution, which I'm very much so looking forward to. All these AEW pay-per-views always pop.
Yeah, Tony Khan's promised some sort of announcement.
God damn it, Tony.
It's not necessarily a signing. It could be something. I don't know.
Well, last time it was an announcement, it was a signing. So he needs to differentiate between what is an announcement and what's a signing. We need to get that kind of defined a little more clear. And thanks for listening, folks. We'll be back next week with all the fun. Mikey, take care of yourself.
All right. Have a good one.